Dear viewers, greetings. In this present video, we are going to see about the history of microscopes. Microscopy. Microscopy is the technical field of using microscopes mainly to view the samples and objects that cannot be seen with the unaided eye. That is, the objects that are not within the resolution range of the normal human eye. A microscope is an optical instrument that magnifies the object, otherwise objects which are too small to be seen, and it producing an image in which the object appears larger. A microscope uses lenses or a combination of lenses to produce highly magnified images of small specimens or objects, especially when they are too small to seen by the naked eyes. Most photographs of the cells are taken using a microscope, and these pictures can also be called as micrographs. Especially three parameters are very important in the field of microscopy. It includes magnification, resolving power, and numerical aperture. The first parameter is magnification. Magnification. It is a measure of how much larger a microscope causes an object to appear. And for instance, the light microscopes typically used in high schools and colleges magnify up to about 400 times than the actual size. So something that was 1 millimeter wide in real life would be 400 millimeter wide in the microscopic image. The second parameter is resolving power. Resolving power is the power to details clearly, and the resolving power or resolution is the ability of the lenses to distinguish fine detail and the structures, and the resolving power is calculated by using the formula wavelength of the light in nanometer divided by 2 into numerical aperture of the objective lens. This is the formula, and specifically the resolving power refers to the ability of the lenses to distinguish 2 points a specified distance apart. For example, if a microscope has a resolving power of 0.2 nanometer, it can distinguish 2 points if they are at least 0.4 nanometer apart. And the resolution of the human eye is 0.2 millimeter. And a general principle of microscopy is that the shorter the wavelength of light used in the instrument, the greater the resolution. This is the general principle of the microscopy. The third parameter is numerical aperture. The numerical aperture is a number which represents the angle of light which was produced by the refraction, and it is a measure of the quantity of light gathered by the lenses. And it is a mathematical constant which was derived from the physical structure of the lens. Each objective lens has a fixed numerical aperture which reading was ranging from 0.1 in the lowest power or 10x lens to approximately 1.25 in the highest power or oil immersion lens, that is the 100x lens. And the lens with higher numerical aperture provides better resolving power because they increase the angle of refraction and widen the cone of light which is entering into the lenses. History of microscope. The history of microscope was started in the 710 BC with the Nimrod lens. The Nimrod lens is a piece of rock crystal may have been used as a magnifying glass or as a burning glass to start fires by concentrating the sunlight. It is later unearthed by Austin Henry Layard at the Assyrian palace of Nimrod in the modern day Iraq. Next, in 1000 AD, the first vision aid called as the reading stone was invented. The reading stone is a glass sphere which was placed on the top of the text, which it magnifies to aid the readability. Next, in 1021 AD, the Muslim scholar Ibn al-Hatham wrote and published his book of Optics. The book of Optics eventually transforms how the light and visions are understood. In the year 1284 AD, Salvino de Ahmed was credited with inventing the first wearable eyeglasses. And during 14th century, the first spectacles was made in Italy. And in 1519 AD, two Dutch spectacle makers, that is the father and son team, Zacharias Janssen and his son Hans, placed multiple lenses in a tube, and they observed that the viewed objects in front of the tube appears greatly enlarged, and they are the forerunner of the compound microscope and the telescope. In the year 1609, Galileo Galilei developed a compound microscope with the convex lens and the concave lens. Next, in 1625, Giovanni Faber coins the name microscope for the Galileo Galilei's compound microscope. Next, in 1665, the English physicist Robert Hooke published his drawing book entitled Micrographia. The book Micrographia was filled with drawings of hairs on a needle and the honeycomb structure of the cork. And he also uses a simple single lens microscope which was illuminated by a candle. And Robert Hooke was the first person who used the word cell when describing the living organisms. In the year 1676, Anton von Leeuwenhoek, who was widely known as father of microbiology, father of protozoology, and the father of microscope, builds a simple microscope with one lens to examine the blood, yeast, and insects. Leeuwenhoek was the first to observe the bacteria, and he invents a new method for making lenses that allows for magnification of up to 270 times than the original thing. In 18th century, as the technology improved, the microscopy becomes more popular among the scientists. Part of this was due to the discovery that combining two types of glass reduced the chromatic effect. In the year 1830, Joseph Jackson Lister reduces the spherical aberrations, which produces the imperfect images by using several weak lenses together at a certain distance to give good magnification without blurring the image. In 1838, two German scientists who were very well known for the cell theory, Matthias Schleiden and Theodor Schwann, proposed that cells were the building blocks for plants and animals' life. And they also published their findings as a drawing book in the name of Microscopy. In 1874, Ernst Abbe writes a mathematical formula that correlates resolving power to the wavelength of light. And in general, Abbe's formula makes it possible to calculate the theoretical maximum resolution of the microscope. And in 1877, the first homogeneous oil immersion objective lens was developed by the scientist John Ware Stephenson. In 1903, Richard Zsigmondy inverts the ultra microscope, which allows for the observation of specimens which are below the wavelength of the light. In 1931, Ernst Ruska and Max Knoll design and build the first transmission electron microscope, that is TEM. They built the transmission electron microscope based on the idea of the scientist Leo Szilard. The electron microscope depends on electrons, not light, to view an object. And currently, the modern transmission electron microscopes can visualize objects as small as the diameter of an atom. In 1934, the phase contrast microscope was first described by the Dutch physicist Frits Zernike, and for later in 1953, the scientist Frits Zernike was awarded the Nobel Prize in the category of physics. The transparent biological materials are studied for the first time using this phase contrast microscope. In 1938, that is just 6 years after the invention of the phase contrast microscope, which comes from the electron microscope developed by Ernst Ruska, he realized that using electrons in the microscopy can enhance the resolution of the microscope. In 1942, Ernst Ruska builds the first scanning electron microscope, that is SEM, which transmits a beam of electrons across the surface of the specimen. In 1957, Marvin Minsky patents the principle of confocal imaging, and using a scanning point of light, confocal microscopy gives a slightly higher resolution than the conventional light microscopy and make it easier to view the visual slices through a thick specimen. Next, in 1862, Osamu Shimura, Frank Johnson, and Yo Steiger discovered the green fluorescent protein from the jellyfish. This green fluorescent protein fluoresces bright green when they are exposed to the blue light. In 1972, Godfrey Hounsfield and Alan Cormack developed the computerized axial tomography scanner, that is the CAT scanner. With the help of the computer, the device combines many X-ray images to generate the cross-sectional views as well as the three-dimensional images of the internal organs and the structures. In 1973, John Venables and C.J. Harlan observed the electron backscatter patterns, in short form it is called as EBSP, in the scanning electron microscope. This electron backscatter patterns provides the qualitative microstructural information about the crystallographic nature of metals, minerals, semiconductors, and the ceramics. In 1978, Thomas and Christoph Kremer developed the first practical confocal laser scanning microscope, which scans an object using a focused laser beam. In 1981, Jed Binning and Heinrich Roher invented the scanning tunneling microscope, and this scanning tunneling microscope sees by measuring an interaction between the atoms rather than by using lights or electrons. It can visualize individual atoms within materials also. And the 3D specimen image also possible with this invention of the scanning tunneling microscope. And next, in 1986, the Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded jointly to Ernst Roscoe, Gerd Binning, and Heinrich Roher. For Ernst Roscoe, the Nobel Prize was awarded for his work on the electron microscope, and for Gerd Binning and Heinrich Roher, the Nobel Prize was awarded for the discovery of the scanning tunneling microscope. And in 1992, the Douglas Prasher reports the cloning of green fluorescence protein, and this report opens the way to widespread use of green fluorescence protein and its derivatives as labels for the fluorescent microscopy, particularly the confocal laser scanning fluorescent microscopy. Next, in 1993, Stephen Hill pioneers a new optical microscope technology that allows the capture of images with a higher resolution. This results in a wide array of high resolution optical methodologies, and they are collectively termed as super resolution microscopy. In the year 2008, Richard Henderson attributes the enormous increase in higher resolution cryo-EM structures to the introduction of direct electron detectors. These detectors can deal with systematic noise and produce clearer micrographs, which makes the particles easier to classify. Next, in 2010, researchers at University of California, Los Angeles use a cryo-electron microscope to see the atoms of the viruses. And finally, in 2014, Nobel Prize in Chemistry was awarded to Eric Bedzik, Stephen Hill, and William Moner for the development of super resolved fluorescence microscopy, which allows the microscopes to now see matters which are smaller than 0.2 micrometer. Dear viewers, thank you for your support. Thank you so much.